those little nuances that should have him more comfortable coming out here for a sophomore outing.
And he's a big boy. That's a lot of weight you're going to have to deal with.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the Allure Properties blue corner. He weighed in at 168 pounds. He is making his amateur MMA debut here tonight. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. This is Kyle Castelein. And his opponent, fighting out of the Knoxville Mortgage Brokers red corner. He weighed in at 171.8 pounds. He has a record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He's representing Nashville MMA out of Nashville, Tennessee. This is Rashad Lockhart.
And already we can hear the hometown support.
Your referee is Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson, our referee in charge, and of course this bout is brought to you by Kinesis Realty Partner. Thank you for Kinesis Realty Partner for coming on board, and I'll tell you what, Kinesis, you got yourself a nice little fight here. So we've got a couple big 170-pounders. I'll tell you what, Rashad Lockhart looks every bit of that 170. But Kyle Castelein looked like he's giving up a little bit of size here.
Yeah, he definitely stretched that 170 as much as possible here.
I was surprised when I saw him at the weigh-ins.
Yeah, looking strong already.
Early takedown by Rashad Lockhart, setting up some top position.
So it's curious. I'm curious to see. You know, he's an 0-1 guy. It looks like he's probably went back, done his homework from his loss, and now he's applying it to this to Kyle here.
You know, you can train all day in the gym, but there's no replicating that experience of getting in there and doing it in live action rounds. And so his last fight out, it's his debut, he loses, but no doubt about it that you take away positive takeaways that you can go back to the gym and work on, make improvements. And in this case, he knows he's got the physicality. He's training hard. No way your body would look like that if you were just sitting on the couch. And now that he's getting a little more comfortable, maybe he's going to be able to go there and execute. And so far, so good. Landing up on top and looking like potentially trying to pass over from half guard.
He looks calm for being his second fight. He was breathing just through his nose, staying calm, staying relaxed. He's in good position here.
He's not
landing a couple shots. Yeah, good head position.
Now, of course, for the fans at home, this is amateur mixed martial arts. The key difference being that they are 3-minute rounds instead of 5-minute rounds. You also cannot elbow or throw knees to the head of standing opponent. But all the same, if it looks like Rashad Lockhart isn't really opening up at the ground and pound, keep in mind he cannot elbow. He needs to wind up on the punches. And those are generally what would create some space for Kyle Castelein to get up.
So I'm curious what the, oh, there he goes. I was just going to say, is he going to use this butterfly here to sweep or to come up with it? It's hard to tell when you're an independent fighter, you know, what he's actually been working on, what he's been shown.
No doubt. And Alexis, for Castelein, this is not only his first ever fight, but this is in fact his first round. And so he's been on his back for the majority of it, taking on a big, strong, physical guy. Does he need to scramble? Does he need to move? Or does he just need to get through this round and start the next one fresh, knowing I can hang with this guy, you know, I can survive with this guy, and just move on to the next one completely?
Well, 45 seconds left in this round. I think he's doing really good, and I think he should just kind of maintain control. If he sees the opening, take it, but just look to not get any clean shots.
Castelein definitely doing a good job of breaking down that posture, not allowing Lockhart to get too much space to kind of rain down some of that ground and pound.
Mm-hmm. You're not getting hit, but you're also holding the guy on top of you. So if I'm Kyle, I'm going to look to get to my side. I'm going to look to come up. I'm going to look to create a little bit of a scramble just to end it on my feet.
There we see he does throw up the legs very briefly. Lockhart
for a little something. Get his elbow underneath there.
It's a 10-second clapper. A little short shot.
Little elbows to the body, which is legal, which is
Is,
nice.
of course, yes. I said no elbows. It's no elbows to the head. Same thing with the knees. No knees to the head. But
that is the end of round number 1. Let them hear you, Nashville.
Well, so far, good first round for Rashad Lockhart. He got the takedown early. He was able to maintain top control. And for Kyle Castelein, hasn't really shown us his full game just yet. But getting that first round out of the way and kind of working out some of the small issues.
Yeah, Lockhart proved to be strong in that round. maintain a good solid base on top. I definitely would like to see Kyle maybe play on the feet a little bit. Use his footwork here. He's smaller, maybe faster guy. We didn't really get to see much, so I'd like to see more standing up in the beginning of this first round.
Alexis, for you, if you were in Kyle Castelein's corner right now, what adjustments do you think he's looking to make coming into this next round to avoid getting taken down again?
I think he needs to work on his footwork, picking his punches, staying on the outside, use his long-range weapons, use his teeth, throw his jab out there, not looking to engage right away, keep my movement.
That's what makes these fights so fun, is they're amateurs, their debut, they're anxious, they're ready to get after it, and let's see what they bring going into the second round.
And of course, with 3 minutes, if you do get taken down, you don't have much time to set up there and set stuff up. You kind of got to get after it. So maybe we will see a sense of urgency from Castelein, who, like Alexis mentioned, he's got to use that footwork, and so far so good, trying to stay to the outside, but a big shot lands by Rashad Lockhart. And the man is powerful, and when he delivers that power and he lands clean, that is expected to happen. But Castelein showing off a good chin and catching his wits back about him, but not the ideal way to start round 2.
Not ideal, and I think this is actually the time that he needs to hold him down, catch his breath, get his wits about him, and then start to move.
For Rashad Lockhart, he's looking for his first victory. He's also fighting with a big contingent of fans here in the arena. So how much do you think he wants to push that extra and get that finish, really put this place on their feet?
Well, yeah, especially coming off of his first fight, having a loss. His home team's here. It's a lot of pressure. It's something that he's going to want to push for, strive for, and show and represent for his team. We had a lot of the Nashville MMA guys on this card, so it's a great way to start it.
Yeah, it's a great thing when you have your hometown crowd behind you, and it's definitely a lot of nerves go into it, but there's a lot of excitement too that goes into it. And he's being calm, he's being cool, collective about it. I know he wants to finish, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out a little bit harder in the third round with his stand-up, because he was pushing the pace a little bit. He was staying right in front of him the entire time and land that big shot that got us here.
Yeah, so the first round he largely dominated from top position with a lot of positional awareness, not necessarily a whole lot of damage. This second round he looks good on his feet, gets a knockdown, and now we're back in a top position, but Rashad does look like he does want to open up, land some shots. It does seem like he's also just comfortable riding out the top position here.
Yeah, it seems very similar to how the first round kind of went. Kyle looks like he's opening up a little bit more. He may start to be feeling the pressure himself of having to take this next round.
Yeah, now we have a minute left, short time. Oh, they're getting stood up, okay.
Getting stood up. I don't necessarily think it was warranted, but I think at the amateur level, it's maybe good to show these guys different looks and cause them to move a little bit, but Lockhart looked like he was doing good.
Oh, you see a mouthpiece go? He can't stand in front.
Short little right hand does connect.
Looking to find.
Lockhart delivering another nasty knee to the body. This one drops down Kyle Castelein to one knee. And Lockhart is swarming, looking for the finish here with 10 seconds coming up near the end of the round. Will he be able to get him out of there? Or will Kyle Castelein see a third round?
I think he will see the third round. Kyle just holding him down. I think he's pretty tired in there. There we go. He makes it.
I think those body shots took a lot out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to
hard
a
body
third and final round.
Well, at least for Castelein, you never know if they're a fighter until they get in there. Now, has he showcased the best of his offensive or his mixed martial arts skills? Perhaps not, but he has shown the ability to take a punch. He's shown no quit in him. And now sitting down, definitely down 2 rounds going into the third.
Professional fights.
These are the lessons that a young fighter has to go through.
24/7 booth. That'll show you
so
how
I'm curious, my curiosity says, is this his coach? Is this his brother? Is this his friend? Who are these guys in his corner, and do they have the best advice for him?
Event.
Yeah, and so you look at the other corner, and you've got Charlie Alexander, the head coach of Nashville MMA, 8-3, you know, on the cusp of getting on to the bigger shows. He's got tons of quality training partners that he works on day in, day out. Of course, the Aries FC lightweight champion is Pat Crumpton, another guy out of Nashville MMA. So He's in good hands, but it seems like it's a comfort level. It seems like Rashad Lockhart already had his first fight, and now in the second fight you're seeing a much calmer version of him, and he's starting to execute some of his skills. Whereas with Kyle Castelein, not that he's not a skilled fighter, but he hasn't quite found that rhythm in there, so to speak.
And now Kyle's coming out a little heavy here.
Well, Alexis, is it officially time to go for broke for Kyle Castelein?
It is. It's you got to go for it. You have to finish this round. You know, there's no going to the scorecards for Kyle in this fight.
Briefly accepting back on his back. With Rashad Lockhart, I would imagine a guy that's that heavily muscled might be a little taxing on the gas tank, but so far through 2 rounds, he does look physically very strong, wasn't breathing too heavy between rounds, and of course right back to his favorite position, which is top position, right sitting in the guard. He doesn't have to overexert himself. He lands short chopping shots. Of course, we did see the referee standing up in the second round, so maybe this incentivizes Rashad Lockhart to stay a little more active before he gets stood up again, but all the same, he's clearly in the driver's seat at this point.
Yeah, and maybe he wants him to stand it up. You know, he's got power in his hands. He could, you know, maybe land another solid shot and win the fight that way.
I'd like to see some more of those elbow body shots.
I think those are super underrated, honestly.
Yeah. Especially since Kyle's already taken quite a bit of damage to the abdomen.
Yeah, it seems like the biggest damaging point so far throughout the fight for Rashad Lockhart was in the first round, he dropped him with the right hand. In the second round, he dropped him with the knee to the body. And now to start this third round, he kind of rushed him over and took him down. And then he just gets into these guard positions where it's not that he's not working. It's just more of a grind and more of a bog than some of that flashy stuff you see him do when he's on his feet. Kyle Lockhart looking to isolate an arming guillotine, it looks like. But there's a lot of sweat going on there. We can see it from here quite well.
You can see the fatigue setting in as well.
Yes, and with a minute left in the round, in the fight for that matter, I'm not sure how much more big explosive movements either guy really is interested in doing it. But of course, for Kyle Castelein, he needs to make something happen because he's very clearly down 2 rounds at this point, and simply surviving is just not enough.
It's not enough, and for Lockhart, how do you want to win here? You know, do you want to just grind it out here, or do you want to kind of sit still and have the referee stop it, stand it up, and then work your feet there?
I would think, you know, at this 30 seconds left in the fight that you would want to get back up and end it with there you go, end it with a big flurry and get the fans going, and that's the end of the fight. But fatigue definitely settling in, and so this could be a wild 25 seconds.
I think Kyle's going to be looking for those big head kicks.
Oh, Rashad Lockhart definitely dropped him with a, looked like a front kick to the body almost. And look at that.
Nice.
The Castelein never quit on himself once. And those are the things that you cannot coach. So unfortunately for Kyle Castelein, it does look like he's going to receive his first amateur loss. But definitely showed a lot of things that you just can't quite simply teach. His chin was good. He took some big shots. He stuck with it. His heart was good. He never quit on himself. He fought all the way to the bitter end. Unfortunately, the better man tonight was Rashad Lockhart, who came in tremendous shape, a lot more comfortable, and definitely put out a good game plan. He executed it. He did everything he could. Did he want the finish? Perhaps. But I think to get your first amateur victory, it's a good night for everybody at National MMA.
Yeah, I think we all want the finish. You know, we're always going for it. I'm not sure about the background of Kyle. He looks like he's in, he works out. You know, he came in shape. He looks solid. I think he has good potential. I just don't know how his training is. I would love for him to join the gym, get a good team behind him, and move forward into the next fight a little bit more prepared. Learn from what he did tonight and take that into the next fight. I think he does have potential.
Well, to make things official, we're going to throw it back to our ring announcer, Jeff Hobbs, who is in the cage with both combatants and has the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges all scored this bout the same, 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Rashad Lockhart. Give it up for both these gentlemen, Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, no surprise there on the verdict. We got 30-27 on all